Dude, I don't know why my fucking hair is so puffy. Anyway, this is my best games I played in 2023. Very simple list, very quick list. Take this as a list of recommendations, I suppose, for the games that I played this year. They didn't necessarily have to come out this year. I just played and enjoyed them this year. Yeah, a very quick list. Don't want to waste too much time. Just want to tell you why I liked them, why I thought they were special, and yeah. Oh, and I have barely any B-roll. In fact, I don't have any B-roll for any of these games. The storage is an issue. My PC sucks. I don't have any B-roll, okay? So it's trailers and shit. Just pay attention to my words, okay? That's the important stuff. All right, let's get into it. So I found Fury off one of Donkey's videos, and fuck, this is one of the most fair, hard games I've played. Like, fair, hard games I've played. So it's good, you know? The controls were a little wonky at first, but once you understand them, they become very useful, and you end up actually kind of glad at the way that they work. The soundtrack is great, the boss fights are sick, and it's just the right amount of challenging where you don't feel like you're being psychologically abused, and that's always a positive. Early access games are rarely what you'd call polished, but Death Must Die is, and it's because of this polish and the overall fluidity of the user experience that you're able to enjoy the game to its absolute fullest. It's a survival-like that takes inspiration from a multitude of genres and games and successfully merges them together for a surprisingly satisfying experience, especially for an early access title. Deadlink is a cyberpunk FPS roguelite, and that premise alone gets me rock hard, and you'll be pleased to know that it gets everything right from the genres that it's in. Gunplay and movement, both of which are at extremely polished levels for an indie title. The game doesn't play around either, it can be quite challenging, and it absolutely requires you to learn what the class's strengths and weaknesses are and how to dodge enemy attacks, which is exactly what you want in this kind of game. For the King 2 started off with a rocky launch but has only improved since then. The developers have put out patches at a rapid pace addressing bugs, balancing issues, quality of life and so much more, and all of that aside, it's still an awesome co-op turn-based dungeon crawling experience that I'm very happy finally received the upgrade from 3-player co-op to 4-player co-op. That's really what it needed to take it to that next level. Starfield is low on my list because I do think that most of its problems are so fundamental that there isn't a single thing Bethesda can do about them without changing too much of the game or completely reworking it, which I guess I wouldn't be opposed to. That said, it would be ignorant to say that I didn't have fun in the 70 hours I played, because, I mean, I did. The Bethesda game loop completely caught me in its trap, and I enjoyed being held captive for the time that I put into it. On my quest to 100% Brotato, I've learned to hate this game and love it at the same time. However, that hatred isn't related to any serious complaints I have with the game, but more so with my stubbornness to complete it getting the best of me. Brotato is polished, replayable, challenging, deep, and exactly the kind of game you want out of the survival-like genre. First and foremost, Barrow Trauma is a fucking blast with friends. It's the kind of co-op game that requires teamwork if you want to succeed, which actually means you'll be engaging with the people that you're playing with, but it's also not a sourpuss game that's afraid to let you have fun either. The details in Barrow Trauma's systems mean that you'll get up to plenty of shenanigans with your mates, all while progressing at the same time, and that's something special that I think needs some recognition. Yeah, so play this game with mates. Seriously, you won't regret it. I'm not sure what to say about Lethal Company that hasn't already been said, so I'm just going to play a clip.
Oh, what the fuck?
No,
what
please.
the fuck? What the fuck is that? Check the box, check the box, check the box, check the box. Oh, you're friendly, right?
No!
No, I'm not waiting for that.
What? Oh, okay. Oh.
What's that?
Survivor likes, bullet heavens, auto shooters, whatever you want to call them, they are multiplying like crazy, so it's hard to keep track of the quality versus the cash grab. Halls of Torment lies in the quality basket. The inspirations are clear and it does justice to them. The level of satisfaction you'll get from playing Halls of Torment will be completely unlike any others, not because it's better, but because it's far more unique. And it's surprising how complete it feels even during its early access period. I seriously cannot wait for this to hit 1.0. It's hard to fathom the amount of content packed into Hitman. It's just such a fun sandbox-ish game to fuck around in and try and complete each mission however you want. Yeah, a good amount of the content is stuff you'll need to pay for, but for the most part, it seems pretty worth it. The maps are expansive and you've got access to a variety of tools to help you complete your mission. It's even got a roguelike mode and plenty of other fun mini-games to play. I seriously highly recommend this one to anyone regardless of their genre preferences. Monster Train is the deck builder that I started getting into deck builders with, and it's the one I really want to nail down as my kind of main deck builder, at least until I've 100%ed it. The draw of this game over others in the genre is the insane amount of batshit crazy overpowered combos you can make. In each run, you choose 2 clans to go in with, and that's where the synergizing begins, and that's where you can make overpowered combos. Not to mention the layout of the train makes a tactical difference in how the game is played, so yeah, this one is up there with Slay the Spire for me. Okay, so I was super excited for Hogwarts Legacy, and I suppose like 50% of it disappointed me. I really wanted a Harry Potter game with extensive RPG systems because I think that would have made complete sense in universe and would lead to a ton of depth at your disposal, but they kind of shit the bed with the RPG part. But what was great about Hogwarts Legacy was the Harry Potter aspect. Hogwarts, brooms, spells, combat, it was all there and really well done too. Just wish there was a little bit more RPG scope in there. Either way, good recommendation for Harry Potter fans for sure. No joke, it took me like 35 hours just to win a single run in Slay the Spire. Card games are not my forte, but holy shit did Slay the Spire teach me the fundamentals I needed to know to succeed in this genre at a very high level. And it challenged me to at least have a basic understanding of how to build a deck. It's such a good game just for that alone. But the real reason I love Slay the Spire is because out of all the deck builders that I've played, it actually lets you build a really succinct deck. Large or small, it doesn't matter, just build a good deck and you'll be rewarded. Deadlink and RoboQuest sit in a similar bucket for me, but RoboQuest does what Deadlink does a lot better. Not in every aspect, but certainly the important ones. RoboQuest's soundtrack alone buffs it up by a few places. Noise Cream, the composer, fucking knocked it out of the stratosphere with this collection of tracks that match the gameplay like fine wine. And the gameplay itself is exceptional too. Every single core FPS mechanic is absolutely nailed. RoboQuest is just great, man. There's seriously no better way to put it. Dave the Diver is this abundantly creative journey into the sea where no matter what you think the game is going to throw at you, it changes it up, throws a curveball your way, and then hits you in the back of the head while you try and find where the ball they just threw at you went. It's inventive in every single manner, and journeying to the bottom of the sea in search of fish is just the beginning. I've loved Ratchet and Clank since I was a kid, and so to finally fucking get one on PC feels like a massive weight lifted off my shoulder, and god damn, is this an excellent PC port too. It's polished, it runs well, and as you'd expect, the entire game is a roller coaster of creativity and set pieces. It's an easy 100% as well. It took me like 15 hours to do it, so big recommendation, even at full price. Dredge was a surprise to me in so many ways. I was captivated entirely by its setting and aesthetic, both of which are probably the main characters of the game. While the story wasn't spectacular, it was serviceable. Really, the main draw during and after the story is the collection of all sorts of fish and completing the given tasks. Then you can upgrade your boat, which will let you catch more aquatic anomalies. It's a simple but well thought out experience with just the right amount of content for a relatively quick playthrough or a longer 100% journey. Man, I misjudged the DayZ standalone. While I'll always prefer the mod, you can't deny the effectiveness of the standalone's approach to survival and PvP. I think the real reason it's this high on my list is because of Namalsk. This map is just perfectly done. It's small, so you're always getting into action, but it's dense enough and difficult enough to where you'll always be occupied doing something. I seriously look forward to where DayZ goes in the future and would highly recommend trying it out if you haven't, or give it another go if you haven't touched it in years. When I made my video on Grounded, I prefaced it by saying that I don't play survival games solo. I've always played them with friends. Grounded is the first survival game where each objective I have to complete to progress seems challenging enough to be fun and close enough so as to not waste my time. I also think that what Obsidian did with the backyard is magnificent. It's genuinely insane the amount of detail that went into creating this open world, and it's a joy to explore and experience. Play this game with friends if you can, but don't be afraid to get into it alone. I was completely addicted to Factorio for days, along with my friends. I don't know how the fuck this game isn't illegal in certain countries at this point. This shit is crack cocaine in video game form, and I love it. I can describe the game to you, but I can't really describe the reasons why it's effective. I'd rather you discover that on your own. All you gotta know is that there's always something to do, and you'll always be happy to do it, and 5 minutes is like 4 hours in Factorio time. Alright, have fun. Okay, the top 3. Let's take a little bit more time here. Cyberpunk 2077 will never be what CDPR promised it would be on launch, but I think that a lot of the goals CDPR set for themselves were entirely out of reach regardless. That doesn't change the fact that this is a fucking excellent product. With the release of 2.0 and Phantom Liberty, Cyberpunk 2077 finishes its redemption arc, firmly cementing itself as one of my favorite games ever. Crazy to think, but this is just a solid open world RPG experience. Choices matter, build variety is fluid and fun, combat is incredibly satisfying, the open world is expansive and immersive, and you've got one hell of a story to sink your teeth into. As always, I think it's important to remember the broken promises, but don't let them stop you from playing a solid fucking video game. Don't be that stubborn. This is a really, really good one. Putting Inkbound up in number 2 is probably the most objective choice on this list. I played a shitload with and without friends and enjoyed every second of it. It's a turn-based roguelike where the turn-based combat doesn't actually feel like turn-based combat because the geniuses over at Shiny Shoe have created a refreshingly quick combat system. This means moves can be dished out quickly and there's very little downtime, especially playing solo. However, that doesn't remove the strategic thinking involved in turn-based games. There will be moments where you need to sit and think about your next moves or it's game over. Everything on the side, as in side content, meta progression, look, I think it's good and there's a lot to get through. I just think it's going through the normal early access growing pains that you'd expect. But even then, this is a solid product and completely engaged someone who was never entirely into turn-based games to begin with. So this is another that I'm very excited to see reach its potential in 1.0. Souls-likes have never been a genre I've delved into, but when you mix shooting, looting, and Souls-likes, okay, then I'm down to give it a go, and goddamn does it work. I actually don't know why there aren't as many Souls-like shooters. This is such an obvious combo, and the funny thing is that I don't even think Remnant 2 reaches this mixture of genres' potential peak. That said, Remnant 2 was a surprise success for many, myself included. There are so many secrets hidden away in each of the locations, a plethora of weapons and items to discover and utilize, plenty of different builds to explore on each of the characters, and some bloody good bosses to fight while you're at it. Then there's the entire element of randomness too, in which each story or adventure mode run will have a different layout, enemy and boss placements, and even events as well. I do have gripes with the game, as I do with most on this list, but this was by far my most enjoyed game this year, and I cannot wait to dive into the DLC that just came out, and hopefully see other developers try this combo of genres sometime in the future. Okay, I said I'd be quick. That was pretty fucking quick. I did want to do some sort of Game of the Year list, but I wanted to do it in a way that I would want to digest it, and this is a way that I digest it. Just simple, quick blurbs about the games. You get the idea, and so you can go and check it out if you wanted to. But it was a big list as well, 23 games, all of which I thoroughly enjoyed. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that was digestible. And yeah, good luck in 2024 with whatever you're doing. I wish you a happy New Year's, and yeah, thanks for watching the content this year. Very slow in the last month or so because I've been addicted to DayZ, and hopefully I'm going to put another DayZ video out soon, just speaking about it as I kind of want to do. But yeah, I appreciate all the subs, everything like that. Small channel, but we're growing, and hopefully we can grow it to be even bigger in 2024. Thanks so much.